Relationships are delicate balances of give and take. Often in the pursuit of connection, we overextend ourselves, talking, explaining, and striving to be understood. But what if the power to be truly valued lies not in your words, but in your silence? Today, we will explore why stepping back from the conversation can spark a deeper realization of your worth in someone else's eyes. Silence is a powerful yet often overlooked force in our lives. In a world buzzing with constant chatter and unending streams of information, silence stands as a rare and valuable refuge. It is not merely the absence of noise, it is an active and intentional space, one that holds immense potential for self-discovery, reflection, and connection. When we consciously embrace silence, we allow ourselves and others the opportunity to step back, process emotions, and engage with the deeper layers of our thoughts and experiences. In relationships, silence can feel uncomfortable or even threatening, particularly when we are accustomed to expressing ourselves through words. But silence, when used mindfully, is not a weapon or a withdrawal. It is a bridge to greater understanding. It allows for moments of stillness where both parties can step away from the noise of their own thoughts and truly consider the other's perspective. When we stop talking, we create a pause that allows reflection to emerge both for ourselves and for those we interact with. The power of silence lies in the space it creates. Words, though important, can sometimes overwhelm the essence of communication. In the midst of an argument, for example, our instinct might be to keep explaining, justifying, or defending. Yet this often leads to misunderstanding or escalation, as neither person has the space to truly process what is being said. Silence, on the other hand, disrupts this cycle. It gives time for emotions to settle, for thoughts to crystallize, and for clarity to surface. In that pause, you can reflect on what truly matters, what you feel, and what you need. For the person on the receiving end, silence also acts as a mirror. When you stop talking, they are left to sit with their own thoughts and emotions. They begin to notice the absence of your words, your presence, and your energy. This absence can be a powerful catalyst for introspection. It invites them to think about their own behavior, the dynamics of the relationship, and what your presence truly means to them. Sometimes it is in your absence that they truly realize your value. Silence also nurtures self-awareness. When we are constantly speaking, we may lose touch with the inner voice that guides us. In the quiet, we reconnect with ourselves. We gain insight into our emotions, our desires, and our boundaries. This self-awareness is essential not only for personal growth, but also for fostering healthier and more authentic relationships. When you take the time to reflect in silence, you gain clarity about what you want to communicate and how to do so effectively. Your words, when they come, are no longer reactive, but intentional and aligned with your true self. Moreover, silence is an act of respect, not only for yourself, but for others. By choosing to pause, you give the other person the opportunity to express themselves without interruption. You show that you value their thoughts and are willing to listen deeply. This kind of mindful silence can transform conversations, turning them into spaces of mutual understanding and respect, rather than battlegrounds of competing narratives. On a deeper level, silence connects us to the present moment. It anchors us in the here and now, free from the distractions of past regrets or future anxieties. In this state of presence, we can observe our thoughts without judgment, allowing them to flow and settle naturally. This practice, often associated with mindfulness and meditation, is deeply healing. It teaches us to be comfortable with ourselves, to embrace stillness, and to find peace in the pauses. In relationships, the courage to embrace silence signals emotional maturity. It shows that you trust the strength of the connection enough to allow for space. You do not need to fill every moment with words to prove your love or commitment. Instead, you understand that true connection often resides in the unspoken, the shared glances, the quiet moments of companionship, and the mutual understanding that grows in the spaces between words. Silence also reminds us of the impermanence of all things. Just as sound follows silence and silence follows sound, our emotions, challenges, and relationships evolve. By allowing silence, we honor this natural ebb and flow. We step away from the need to control every outcome and instead trust the process of reflection and growth. In the end, silence is not a void but a vessel. It holds the potential for healing, transformation, and deeper connection. It is a gift we give to ourselves and to others, a gift of time, presence, and space. By embracing silence, we invite reflection, understanding, and the profound realization that sometimes the most meaningful communication happens without words at all. Your worth is a profound and intrinsic part of who you are. It is not something that needs to be justified, proven, or explained. Yet in many aspects of life, particularly in relationships and interactions, there is a tendency to over-explain. This habit often arises from a deep-seated fear of being misunderstood, undervalued, or unappreciated. It is driven by the mistaken belief that the more we explain ourselves, the more likely we are to be accepted or respected. However, the truth is quite the opposite. Your worth is not tied to how much you explain yourself, and stepping away from over-explaining can be a powerful act of self-empowerment. Over-explaining often stems from insecurity or the desire for validation. You may feel compelled to justify your choices, actions, or even your feelings to others, hoping that they will see your perspective and approve of it. But in doing so, you may inadvertently send the message that their approval is more important than your self-assurance. When you feel the need to over-explain, it is as though you are seeking permission to be yourself, a permission that no one else can give you because it must come from within. This habit can be particularly detrimental in relationships, where the constant need to explain may lead to imbalance. Instead of fostering mutual respect, it can create a dynamic where one person feels they must constantly defend themselves, while the other becomes the arbiter of what is acceptable or reasonable. This imbalance can erode self-confidence and make interactions feel draining rather than uplifting. Recognizing that your worth does not hinge on someone else's understanding of your every move is the first step toward breaking free from this cycle. When you stop over-explaining, you reclaim your power. You begin to trust yourself and your decisions. This trust is vital because it allows you to stand firmly in your truth without feeling the need to convince others. It is not about being dismissive or indifferent to other people's perspectives. Rather, it is about valuing your own perspective just as much. When you trust yourself, you communicate with clarity and confidence. Your words carry weight because they come from a place of authenticity, not a place of desperation for validation. Moreover, over-explaining can often dilute the strength of your message. When you pile on reasons and justifications, the core of what you are trying to say can get lost. Simplicity is powerful. A concise statement of your feelings, needs, or intentions often speaks louder than a lengthy explanation. It conveys self-assurance and a deep understanding of your own worth. People are more likely to respect and respond positively to someone who speaks with confidence and brevity than someone who appears uncertain and overly apologetic. Another important aspect of moving away from over-explaining is understanding that not everyone will agree with you or see things from your perspective, and that's okay. Your worth is not determined by whether others understand or approve of your choices. This realization can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to focus on what truly matters to you, rather than getting caught up in trying to please or appease others. It shifts your energy from external validation to internal validation. When you stop over-explaining, you also create space for deeper connections. Instead of filling every silence with justifications, you allow others the opportunity to reflect and engage with you on a more meaningful level. It shifts the dynamic of your relationships, fostering mutual respect and understanding. People begin to see you as someone who values their own voice and trusts their own judgment. This, in turn, inspires others to do the same. In professional settings, the ability to avoid over-explaining can be a game changer. It demonstrates confidence and clarity, qualities that are highly respected. When you make a decision or present an idea, doing so with conviction and without unnecessary elaboration signals that you have thought it through and believe in its merit. It positions you as a leader and someone who is secure in their abilities and knowledge. Letting go of over-explaining is also an act of self-care. It allows you to conserve your energy and focus it on what truly matters. Explaining yourself repeatedly can be exhausting, especially when it feels like the other person isn't truly listening or is unwilling to understand. By choosing not to over-explain, you protect your energy and prioritize your well-being. It is a way of setting boundaries, both for yourself and for others, that reinforces the message, "I trust myself," and that is enough. Ultimately, your worth is not something that can be measured or quantified by others. It is not up for debate, and it certainly does not depend on how much you explain yourself. It is an inherent part of who you are, rooted in your uniqueness, your experiences, and your inner strength. When you embrace this truth, you step into a place of empowerment. You recognize that your voice matters not because it is perfectly explained, but because it is authentically yours. By letting go of over-explaining, you honor yourself. You send a powerful message to the world that your worth is non-negotiable, that you are confident in who you are, and that you trust yourself to navigate life with grace and courage. This is not just a gift to yourself, but also to those around you, as it inspires them to value their own worth and embrace their own authenticity. Reclaiming your energy is a profound act of self-love and empowerment. In a world that constantly demands your time, attention, and emotional investment, it is easy to feel depleted. Energy is one of your most precious resources, influencing your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and nurture relationships. When you reclaim your energy, you are not merely conserving it, you are redirecting it toward what truly matters, aligning it with your values, and using it to cultivate a life that feels balanced and fulfilling. Energy is not infinite. Just as physical exertion can leave you tired, emotional and mental engagement can drain you if not managed mindfully. Every interaction, task, and thought requires energy. While some exchanges and activities nourish and uplift you, others may leave you feeling exhausted and depleted. Reclaiming your energy begins with awareness. It requires you to assess where your energy is going and whether those investments are serving your highest good. One common way we lose energy is through overcommitment. The desire to please others, meet societal expectations, or avoid conflict often leads us to say yes when we really mean no. Each unnecessary yes chips away at your reserves, leaving you with little energy for the things that truly matter to you. Reclaiming your energy means learning to say no with confidence and grace. It is an act of setting boundaries, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. When you honor your own limits, you create space to focus on what aligns with your priorities. Another way energy is drained is through negative thought patterns and unresolved emotions. Worry, self-doubt, and regret can consume vast amounts of mental energy, leaving you feeling fatigued and unmotivated. Reclaiming your energy involves addressing these inner dynamics. This does not mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings. Rather, it means acknowledging them, processing them, and then letting them go. Practices such as journaling, meditation, or seeking support from a trusted friend or therapist can help you release what no longer serves you. By doing so, you free up energy for positive, forward-moving thoughts and actions. Toxic relationships are another significant source of energy depletion. Whether it's a partner, friend, family member, or colleague, interacting with someone who consistently drains your energy can have a profound impact on your well-being. Reclaiming your energy in these situations may mean creating distance, setting firm boundaries, or even walking away from the relationship altogether. This can be challenging, especially if guilt or obligation is involved, but it is essential for protecting your emotional and mental health. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you is a powerful way to recharge and sustain your energy. Time management also plays a critical role in reclaiming your energy. Disorganization and lack of prioritization can lead to feeling overwhelmed and scattered, as though you are constantly running on empty. By structuring your day with intention, you can allocate your energy to the tasks and activities that matter most. This might involve delegating responsibilities, reducing multitasking, or simply allowing yourself periods of rest and reflection. Remember, productivity is not about doing more, it is about focusing on what is most meaningful. Taking care of your physical body is another essential aspect of reclaiming your energy. Your physical health directly affects your energy levels. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and hydration are foundational to maintaining vitality. Neglecting these basics can leave you feeling sluggish and unable to engage fully in life. Listening to your body's needs and prioritizing self-care is not indulgent, it is necessary. When you nurture your body, you create a strong foundation for sustained energy. Reclaiming your energy also involves cultivating mindfulness. Often we expend unnecessary energy dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness anchors you in the present moment, allowing you to focus on what is within your control. It helps you to engage with life more fully and with greater intention, rather than scattering your energy across things you cannot change. Creativity and joy are other vital sources of energy. Engaging in activities that inspire and excite you replenishes your reserves in a way that few other things can. Whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones, make time for the things that light you up. These moments are not a waste of time, they are an investment in your well-being. Finally, reclaiming your energy requires self-compassion. It is easy to fall into the trap of feeling guilty for taking time for yourself or saying no to others. But reclaiming your energy is not selfish, it is essential. When you take care of yourself, you become better equipped to care for others and contribute meaningfully to the world. Self-compassion allows you to let go of perfectionism and the unrealistic expectations that often lead to burnout. Reclaiming your energy is a journey, not a one-time act. It requires ongoing attention and intention. It is about choosing to honor yourself, prioritizing your well-being, and creating a life that feels vibrant and aligned. By reclaiming your energy, you not only restore balance, but also open the door to greater clarity, purpose, and joy. The phrase, "absence makes the heart grow fonder," speaks to a profound and universal truth about human relationships. It reflects the idea that distance and separation can enhance appreciation and longing for someone we care about. In the fast-paced and often hyper-connected world we live in, it can be difficult to fully grasp the significance of someone's presence when they are constantly around. Absence creates a unique space, one that allows feelings to deepen, perspectives to shift, and the value of a connection to come into sharper focus. When someone is always present, their presence can begin to feel like a given, something that does not require conscious thought or effort to notice. This is not out of neglect, but rather a natural byproduct of familiarity. Humans often take for granted what is readily available. However, when that presence is removed, even temporarily, it creates a void that brings their significance to the forefront of our awareness. This is where the power of absence lies. It compels us to reflect on what we might have overlooked or undervalued. Absence allows emotions to crystallize. In the stillness of separation, feelings that might have been overshadowed by routine or daily distractions come to light. It's in those quiet moments of reflection that we often realize how much someone means to us. We think about their laugh, the comfort of their company, or the unique ways they bring joy and meaning to our lives. These reflections are not forced but arise naturally in the space absence creates, deepening our emotional connection to them. For the person who steps away, absence is also an opportunity for self-discovery and self-worth. Taking a step back from constant interaction allows you to reconnect with yourself and your priorities. It creates room for introspection, where you can assess not only the relationship but also your own needs and boundaries. This period of self-reflection can be empowering, reminding you that your value does not depend on your proximity to someone else, but on your inherent qualities and sense of self. At the same time, absence challenges relationships to grow in resilience and depth. It tests the foundation on which a connection is built. When two people are apart, the relationship relies less on physical presence and more on the strength of emotional bonds, trust, and shared understanding. This can be a powerful reminder that true connection transcends distance and that love is not diminished by separation but often strengthened by it. Absence also fosters gratitude. In the midst of everyday life, it's easy to focus on minor frustrations or conflicts within a relationship. But when distance comes into play, those small irritations fade, and the broader picture comes into view. The time apart allows us to shift our focus from flaws to the qualities we admire and cherish in the other person. This gratitude enriches the connection, making reunions more meaningful and relationships more fulfilling. However, the phenomenon of absence making the heart grow fonder is not about manipulation or testing someone's commitment. It is not about creating artificial distance or playing games to provoke a response. Instead, it is a natural occurrence that arises when people are separated for genuine reasons, whether by circumstance or necessity, and allows the relationship to evolve organically. Authentic absence, grounded in mutual respect and trust, is what nurtures fondness and appreciation. It is also worth noting that the benefits of absence extend beyond romantic relationships. Friendships, family bonds, and even professional dynamics can benefit from periods of distance. In friendships, time apart often brings back fond memories of shared experiences and highlights the value of companionship. Within families, absence can remind us of the comfort and security of home. Even in the workplace, stepping away from a team or project for a while can provide fresh perspectives and a renewed sense of purpose. Absence also teaches patience and emotional resilience. In a culture that values instant gratification, being apart from someone you care about requires trust in the connection and the willingness to endure moments of longing. This emotional patience builds character and strengthens bonds, creating a foundation of mutual respect and understanding that withstand the test of time. Moreover, absence is not just about physical separation, it can also take the form of emotional space. Taking a break from constant communication or the need to be immediately available can be healthy for both parties. It allows for individual growth and the cultivation of a richer inner life, which ultimately enhances the relationship. When both individuals have the freedom to grow independently, they bring new depth and richness to the connection upon reuniting. In the end, absence reminds us of what we value most. It strips away the noise and distractions of daily life, leaving us with a clearer sense of the people and relationships that truly matter. It deepens appreciation, fosters gratitude, and nurtures connection. It is not merely the distance that makes the heart grow fonder, it is the reflection, growth, and emotional clarity that arise within that space. Through absence, we learn to cherish presence, and in longing, we find love reaffirmed. Loving yourself first is one of the most transformative practices you can adopt in life. It's not about being self-centered or disregarding others, but rather about recognizing your worth and prioritizing your own well-being. When you love yourself, you establish a strong foundation that allows you to nurture healthier relationships, make empowered decisions, and live authentically. Self-love is the key to unlocking your potential, setting boundaries, and creating the life you truly desire. At the core of self-love is acceptance. To love yourself, you must first accept who you are in all your complexities, flaws, imperfections, and strengths. This means embracing your past, your mistakes, your achievements, and your uniqueness. It is the practice of acknowledging that you are enough just as you are. Too often we are conditioned to believe that we need to be better or more in order to be loved and valued. But true self-love comes from within, recognizing that you don't need to earn your worth. You are worthy simply because you exist. This acceptance creates inner peace and self-compassion. Instead of being critical or harsh with yourself, you learn to treat yourself with kindness, as you would treat a close friend. You acknowledge your shortcomings without judgment and offer yourself the same understanding you would extend to others. Self-compassion allows you to move through life with more resilience, as you learn not to beat yourself up over mistakes or failures, but rather to view them as opportunities for growth. When you love yourself first, you give yourself the permission to fail and try again, to stumble and rise, and to move forward with grace. Loving yourself also means taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. It's about prioritizing your health, nourishment, and rest. Often we neglect our own needs in the pursuit of caring for others or fulfilling external expectations. But when you love yourself, you understand that your physical, emotional, and mental health are interconnected and equally important. You make time for regular exercise, eat nourishing foods, and ensure you are getting the rest you need to recharge. You pay attention to your emotional and mental health by engaging in practices that promote calm, clarity, and joy, such as meditation, mindfulness, or creative pursuits. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's an essential act of self-respect that enables you to give more fully to others. Self-love is also about setting boundaries. It's about knowing what you need, what you will tolerate, and what you won't. Boundaries are a vital part of protecting your energy, time, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, it's easy to become overwhelmed, resentful, and burned out. Loving yourself means knowing when to say no and when to say yes based on what serves your highest good. It also means speaking up for yourself, advocating for your needs, and standing firm in your values. When you respect your own boundaries, you teach others how to treat you with the same respect. When you love yourself, you also free yourself from seeking validation from others. Too often we look outside of ourselves for affirmation, hoping that others will recognize our worth. However, self-love teaches you to rely on your own sense of value and to trust your instincts. You begin to make decisions that align with your inner truth, not based on external expectations or opinions. This sense of self-assurance strengthens your confidence and self-esteem, empowering you to take risks, chase your dreams, and pursue what brings you joy. Loving yourself first also opens the door to healthier relationships. When you are grounded in self-love, you no longer seek relationships to complete you or fill an emotional void. Instead, you enter relationships from a place of wholeness, understanding that you are already complete on your own. This shifts the dynamic of your connections, allowing you to build partnerships based on mutual respect, trust, and love. You become less reliant on others for your happiness and more capable of offering love freely and generously. Relationships.